Hey guys, today I'll show you a sci-fi horror film named The Dark Hour. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins with a shot of a little boy named Jesus, who looks at the sea and calls it blue. The shot changes to ominous foreshadowing as we see a dark house with mystery doors and chicken prisoners. Basically, this seems to be some kind of bunker where a group of survivors are living. Now we see Jesus recording himself on a digicam. He introduces us to a couple named Babe and Vlogger, after which he proceeds to show us two men named Big G and Teacher, who are sleeping with each other. Then we meet a woman named Magda and a girl named Anna. Jesus thinks that Anna is pretty, but she is not interested in him because she's a big girl now. Finally, Jesus introduces us to Chicken Boy, who used to date Babe. Chicken Boy works out his chicken muscles, and then Jesus goes to sleep. The next day, everyone sits down for breakfast, but Jesus is upset over having to eat eggs. He starts recording again, but Anna doesn't like it. Babe is worried about a man named Beardy, who lives on a different block, but meets Anna and Jesus from time to time. Anyway, Jesus talks to the camera once again, and says that he has to learn math because these skills might come in handy someday. Babe takes a class for Jesus while Teacher teaches Anna some vocabulary. She seems to like Teacher and asks him questions about the war because that's what Beardy keeps telling her and Jesus. Later, Magda talks about how she likes Anna calling her mom, but Teacher complains about Beardy putting silly ideas in the kids' heads. Vlogger gets some love from Babe, so he tells Teacher not to worry about it. Now, we see Jesus and Anna heading out to meet Beardy in his block. The kids pass through the creepy halls, and Jesus thinks about taking a detour, but Anna says this is forbidden. Jesus still takes the detour and leaves some food for a solitary child named Stinky, who is living by himself. He and Anna finally meet Beardy, who has a big beard, and he comments that Anna has become a beautiful but beardless woman. Beardy offers to watch some horror movies from Daniel CC Movie Channel, and the kids happily agree. Meanwhile, Babe is busy taking notes, while a strange cartoon plays in the background. It seems to be a typical case of propaganda messaging, and then Chicken Boy asks Babe for a tranquilizer because his head is hurting. Babe thinks he's just lying, so she denies his request. After the movie, Beardy tells Jesus and Anna that whatever they saw was actually part of the real world. We learn that there was an apocalypse event which had obliterated life on Earth, which is why Babe's group is hiding and surviving in the bunker. Beardy gets a call telling him to send the kids back to Babe. After bidding farewell, we can see that Beardy has a strange mark on his arm. We also learn about deadly beings known as strangers who turn into invisibles after they are ended. On their way, Jesus spots a shadow figure and calls him Stinky. However, Anna gets spooked out, so Jesus offers to marry and protect her against any alien muscles. Later, Magda scolds the kids for taking up so much time and gets even more upset when Anna shows her some makeup that Beardy had given her. Anna rejects Jesus for bedtime, and then Vlogger asks him for his tape recorder because he wants to record his daily hormone yoga session with Babe. Jesus strikes a deal and makes Vlogger give up his desserts for the week in exchange for the camera. After a successful negotiation, Vlogger starts recording Babe as she gets done with work. Babe eventually agrees to the recorded hormone yoga without pixelating it. Meanwhile, Anna tries the makeup on her face while Magda goes to sleep. Big G and Teacher are also shown to be hormone lovers, but Beardy only has his beard for company. He watches a dirty film for personal reasons, and then we see Chicken Boy, who is getting jealous listening to Babe and Vlogger's hormone noises. Jesus takes his camera back from Vlogger, but learns that he has left the hormone tape inside. Jesus takes a sneak peek at the footage while Chicken Boy looks at him with jealousy. Jesus proceeds to blackmail Vlogger and manages to get 6 months of free desserts. Everyone enjoys a game of basketball, but Chicken Boy gets rough with Vlogger because he's jealous of his smelly sessions with Babe. The fight gets broken up, and then the kids are called for a meeting with the adults. Jesus sees Anna with makeup and is smitten by her good looks. The kids join the meeting, and Babe talks about how she suspects someone to be messing with the bunker's electricity. Supplies are also running low, so it's best to go to the warehouse for a reload. They argue for a bit, but the motion to go to the warehouse gets approved. Basically, the Invisibles launch cold attacks, which are called cold hours. Since the electricity keeps getting cut, the cold hours are increasing in frequency. Babe acts on this information and sets the curfew at 8 p.m. The next day, Babe tells Vlogger that she wants to send him to the warehouse. He is skeptical as he watches a video, showing how people would be tortured with a chemical that would make them bleed but not die. Basically, these people turn into strangers and infect others simply through touch. Now Jesus records the men for their statements, and Big G gives him a diary, which has all his notes on whatever has happened inside the bunker. At night, the cold hour strikes, and Jesus records himself talking about the invisibles. These beasts are attracted to warmth and can be observed by a cold mist. We see the invisibles in action as they pass by the survivors and freeze everything in their path. It's a tense sequence, but the survivors manage to survive. Now Babe chooses Vlogger, Big G, and Chicken Boy for the warehouse mission because they have the biggest muscles. The men set out on their journey, and Babe gives Vlogger a goodbye kiss, which however triggers Chicken Boy's jealousy even more. Babe tells Beardy about her plan, so he prepares his gun for backup. The men are alert as ever in their movements, and eventually enter the warehouse to stock up on supplies. Vlogger accidentally cuts himself and sees a stranger, so he urges the others to leave. However, Chicken Boy takes his own sweet time and misguides the men by leading them into the danger zone. Vlogger confronts him for being useless, but Chicken Boy throws him inside a room like an adult toy and locks him inside. This room is filled with strangers, and they brutally end Vlogger's vlogging life, despite his desperate attempts to call out to Chicken Boy for help. Of course, Chicken Boy keeps the door locked and lies to Big G by saying Vlogger jumped into the room himself while he's vlogging carelessly. With no other choice, Big G also abandons Vlogger and rushes to the others with Chicken Boy. Babe learns what happened with Vlogger, so she confronts Chicken Boy and Big G, scolding them for going into the danger zone, and then Babe demands a written statement from the both of them separately. The cold starts to kill the chickens, so Chicken Boy informs Magda about it. She sends Teacher to give the news to Babe, who is lonely and upset. Teacher says that Big G has locked himself in the observatory and wants to be alone. Babe recalls the time when the bunker was filled with people, making it overcrowded, almost like a shopping mall. This was around 9 years ago, and now the situation is such that the generators will not last much longer. It turns out that Babe and her team were sent to the bunker by some politicians, and now she regrets her decision. Teacher simply says that the only peaceful option is to end the kids and then themselves. Later, Babe goes through some tapes where she and Vlogger were talking about their relationship. However, the Invisibles arrive and freeze everything in their path. Tensions rise once again, and Jesus records himself saying he liked Vlogger and wanted his dad to be like him. Now, Anna wakes up and strangely decides to step outside, without realizing the Invisibles are approaching her. She rushes to Teacher's room and begs him for help, so he lets Anna inside, but scolds her for being stupid. Meanwhile, the Invisibles enter Jesus' room, but he remains still, so they leave him alone. Anna snuggles up next to Teacher and gives him a tongue massage for saving her shitty life. He forgets about Big G for the moment and continues with the tongue massage. Now we shift to a happy cartoon that suddenly turns deadly, with the main character getting attacked. Magda goes crazy when she doesn't see Anna in her room, but Teacher clears the confusion, and then everyone gathers together to pay their respects to Vlogger. Chicken Boy acts cold and tries to show Babe some love, after which he walks away. Later, the kids watch a Daniel CC movie with Beardy, and Anna gets comfy with Jesus. After the movie, Beardy explains how the strangers can use their touch to even infect weapons that will transfer the infection to humans. Meanwhile, Stinky comes to Babe and tells her that the strangers have taken over his home, which is close to the bunker. Beardy continues to explain how human civilization fell to the war despite their numerous attempts at peace. Then, everyone gets together to see Stinky. The team thinks about attacking the strangers because they are closer to the bunker now. Babe reasons that there are thousands of strangers, and it will be difficult to beat them all. However, the team decides to confront the strangers, and Anna is told to clean Stinky's dirty body. She tells Magda that she loves Teacher, so Magda attacks Teacher because of his sick intentions. Teacher explains that there were many hormones but no yoga, so Magda leaves him alive. However, Big G becomes a small G after hearing about this betrayal from his lover, Teacher. The kids stay behind while the adults use their guns and break into the surrounding rooms. They find a stranger and end his strange life, after which they continue to scout the area. While this happens, we see the kids watching an old video on how a good boy dog's head was removed from its body. This is a spooky sight, but it becomes worse when a stranger enters the room to attack them. We see the adults fighting an army of strangers in an intense sequence, and then Vlogger suddenly appears, but as a stranger. Magda is shocked and frozen by his appearance, so the infected Vlogger attacks her. Teacher ends up saving Magda but gets touched by Vlogger, so he starts turning, similar to a zombie infection. Magda has to shoot down Teacher, and Big G witnesses this, so he uses up all his ammo on the strangers. However, he gets infected, so Chicken Boy ends him as well as the other strangers. The kids run away from their stranger attacker, but Jesus trips and falls. The stranger infects him, after which he rushes to the other kids. Nobody wants to touch Jesus because they think he's a stranger now, but then the adults come and save them. Jesus is shown to be immune to the strangers, so Beardy hugs him, even though Chicken Boy is more than happy to shoot him. Time passes by and Jesus feels sick occasionally but doesn't transform. Chicken Boy still wants to send Jesus to meet the heavenly Jesus, but Beardy says that he might be the key to their survival. Chicken Boy argues that it's against the rules to keep an infected human alive. The others oppose his words, but he has no remorse. Jesus talks about strangers and nuclear power in his dreams, but Magda calms him down and talks to Stinky. She then learns that Stinky's parents are also strangers now, and then she takes Anna to a secret room. Magda reveals she's an astronomer and shows Anna a telescope that gives a great view of the stars. Magda doesn't want Anna to call her mommy, but she says that she lost her mom to the strangers. Anna thinks that Magda and the others ended her mom, and states that Beardy told her everything about the people of this group getting infected by strangers, right from when she was a baby. Basically, this was a highly populated group, but everyone started turning into strangers, which is why the bunker is a survival zone now. Magda tells Anna that Teacher is no more, and she bursts into tears because she genuinely liked him. Now Jesus starts recording with Stinky, and they become friends. However, Chicken Boy keeps watching the Agenda cartoons, and starts hearing careless whispers. He starts to spray weird figures all over the walls, while Jesus dreams about the ocean, just like at the beginning of the movie. Technically speaking, Jesus has never seen an ocean, because he's been trapped inside the bunker since birth. Babe sees all of Chicken Boy's drawings, and then he shows himself in dramatic fashion. Chicken Boy says that he can hear the strangers and even feel the blood in their throats. He proceeds to say that the people on Earth are spying on him with secret cameras, and the survivors are nothing more than guinea pigs. Babe thinks that Chicken Boy is more useless than his name, but he makes it even worse by saying he was the one who gave her lover, Vlogger, to the strangers, because he's madly in love with her. Babe lashes out at Chicken Boy, and they get into a struggle, but then everyone hears a gunshot, so they come out of their rooms. Chicken Boy threatens them to hand over Jesus, and Babe is seen with a wound. Things get tricky, but then the Invisibles show up with full power. Suddenly, Chicken Boy becomes a brave rooster and tells the others to escape while he sacrifices his chicken life to the Invisibles. The team runs for dear life, and Beardy fights off the Invisibles with a shotgun. After that, he leads everyone to safety outside the bunker. Everything seems to be fine, but then an army of strangers shows up and approaches the team. That's when Beardy explains that this is the reality the adults were hiding from the kids. The team was sent to the bunker on a temporary basis at first, but they got stranded after the apocalypse. Babe passes away from her wound, and then Jesus records himself one last time to tell us that the strangers are going to end him and his team. The recording ends with Jesus seeing a blue explosion and calling out to it just like in his dreams. Then the shot zooms out to reveal that Jesus and his group are actually in a secret base on the moon because Earth has become a blazing wasteland. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.